Good morning, Skippy.
Morning, Josh.
Ouch.
It's a beautiful day.
Put around my microphone here. Okay, there.
Folks, there's one in every group. There is one in every group, guys. Oh, good morning, Josh.
Hi. How are you?
I'm better now.
Okay, good.
Why don't you flip it here?
Because then it's right up against my chin. I goes like that. And then every time I move my head, you're going to get scruffy noises.
What about here?
Yeah, I could. It's weird there, though. Over there. It's right under there. There we go.
I actually turned my phone on Do Not Disturb, so I shouldn't have any recording problems.
Excellent. Good morning, Justin. What up to you?
Hey, Justin. How's it going, bud?
Sorry, for those of you that download the podcast, sorry about last week's delay. It is uploaded. It is there. So
Absolutely, it is.
sorry about that. Kind of a weird couple weeks, but with any amount of luck, we'll be back on regular scheduled programming for at least a little while.
You've been a busy fella.
Not really.
No.
Busy couple days, but
All right.
Justin is tired. I hear that.
Yeah.
Good morning to you as well, Jason. He says, morning, food truck and a cafe. Good morning.
I still have a food truck, asshole.
Yeah, sales last week were kind of weird.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's get right into the nitty gritty.
It was dead all night. Every night was a ghost town.
Just dead.
Yeah, it was so bizarre. Like spots that we normally are rocking, there was no people. Just it was eerie how slow it was at night. Yeah, we were really, especially towards Friday, Saturday, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we were expecting to be pretty outstanding full days, and was not the case. It was our first time back at a winery in Holland, which has always been a super solid spot. It was low 60s, little overcast, and a Friday night. All a perfect recipe for what you would think would be a good night out there. And I think we did $300. Yeah.
Good Friday?
My only thought was there were some people traveling for the Easter weekend or something like that. I don't know. And they were having their customer appreciation day. So like all the things were lined up for us to have a good day. He said on average right now, trucks have been averaging 1,600 out there. I don't know that I believe him. I'm going to reach out to a couple trucks to see if they're experiencing the same things. But yeah, it was just bizarre. And then, I mean, Saturday we had a rockin' lunch in Newego at 1,200, and then we pull into the brewery at Berserk in Grand Haven, and it's a ghost town there. So I don't know. Hopefully we're past all the spring breaks. We're past all the travel weekends for a little while. The weather this week looks pretty amazing. The best week with weather we've had this year.
Does look good.
So yeah, hopefully. I think our biggest chance of rain is tomorrow. And we're going to be at Midwest, so I'm not too concerned. They usually show up regardless. Yeah, we could use a really good week this week after I just paid off the balance on my smoker yesterday. So
yeah,
it's always nice having the low balance alert that you set on your bank account pop up.
Mm-hmm.
luckily, I mean, we said it at, it's not like it's like $300, but yeah, we haven't seen that in a while, but
500, 600, somewhere around 750.
running the card for $7,000 yesterday was after I get there and they can't find my smoker. Did you tell somebody you're coming today to pick it up? Yes, there was 3 phone calls between Thursday and Friday.
Yes, sir, I did.
If you want, I'll just pick one out of the line of ones you have done. Take one.
I'm
of
sure
those.
there's one here that we can make a deal on.
Yep, that's right. Hogzilla, yep. Go ahead and throw her on.
Yeah, go cook on it for me so I can now call it a demo and get a couple thousand off.
That's right. Hey, mine was already cooked on when I got it. Hold on. Let me take this phone call real quick. I'm sorry, everybody.
Oh boy.
Hello, this is Josh.
Hello, Josh.
Hi.
We would like you to come out and serve our people. So if anybody
I
doesn't
got your
know,
message on, I think you called Friday. Maybe
Josh went down to
had to go down to Missouri and back over
Old
the weekend.
Hickory,
I just
Old
I'm
Hickory
a little bit behind. Returning
and
stuff.
Gerardo,
No, you're
Missouri,
fine. You're fine.
Missouri,
You said June 6th.
and had to pick up a new smoker, Gert 2, from what I saw. Gert 2 is a large.
So we have something booked already, unfortunately.
A large smoker. Everybody's trying to book Josh.
We definitely wouldn't be able to pull the truck in. I mean, we could do like a buffet setup, but I'm guessing that's not what you're looking for.
In other words, Josh
we
is
wouldn't
not
be able to pull the truck in, unfortunately. Yeah, and yeah, May, June are typically our busiest 2 months, just with end of school and all the open houses and lots of this kind of thing going on at that point. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, we're already booked.
Well, okay.
Have you already reached out to BDs? Yep. I'm not sure about a website. I know they're on Facebook. So it's BD.
Josh trying to spread the word.
Actually. Make sure I'm sending you to the right Facebook page.
That's the other thing. So if you do have catering and you can't do it, it's also good to be able to give that information to somebody else. As far as like to have somebody else book it.
I had it wrong. It's KB. K is in Karen, B is in Bradley. KB's your barbecue dealer. If you look that up on Facebook, you'll get right there. And he actually worked with us for a year, so I mean he's pretty much mimicking what we do largely. So, and he's out of White Cloud, I think, Waco White Cloud area. So, yep, no problem. Thank you. You too. Bye bye.
Look at you just sharing the wealth.
Well, she called Friday, left a message, and I just hadn't had a chance to get back to her. And then she called. That's the 3rd time she's called this morning.
She really wants her some sweet rats.
It was either take the phone call right now or reject calls for the next hour. So yeah, sorry, I had to take the headset off because you talking in my ear, I can't listen to 2 people.
I understand.
Justin says he had his best week yet. A year ago is when I was having my food truck owner crisis and you guys talked me off the ledge. Well, that's interesting. I had my own little food truck come to Jesus anxiety ridden week last week. So so I'm guessing you were talking about my trip down to Missouri.
I did mention that you definitely went down to Missouri.
Let me for those that don't follow me on Facebook.
First of all, why wouldn't you?
I don't know. Seems silly. I don't know why you wouldn't follow both of us. Let me share my screen real quick.
Probably because we don't say it enough.
Probably not. Window there. Share. Our Old Hickory. CTODW for double wide. It's all bright and shiny. I like that they put it on the trailer and then cleaned it again on the outside. I said, I know you guys know that it's all for naught because I'm driving 7.5 hours, but I appreciate the attention to detail here.
I'm surprised you didn't purchase a cover to go with it.
Nah. Why? It's going to be used 24/7. It's never going to be covered.
Completely understand.
So, yep. And for Justin Lodato saying I didn't get the comp switch on it. There it is.
Look at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't intend to use gas hardly at all. So, just overnight. So, if anybody's looking to spend 16 grand, it's not a bad way to go. Oh, I have a Hogzilla here. There's Hogzilla. It's big.
Wow.
They can fit hundreds of racks of ribs, he said. All right, for those that, oops. So yeah, the door is over here.
Wow.
So this whole area from here to here is all rotisserie. Yeah, it's massive inside.
How long did you stay there wishing you could grab one of anything?
There was plenty that were ready to go out. So yeah, I was there a little bit longer than I wanted to be, but they had to find my smoker. And then they didn't have the paperwork ready. And then so I was back on the road 9:05 local time, which isn't too bad. I was hoping to be out of there by 9, so acceptable. And my pit's already been cooked on. So they season them for you. He said it's all ready to go. We I think they do a pork butt on them.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah. So all the units have
it.
been cooked on. Yeah. A little extra charge.
You fed a couple of guys.
Jason says, how many racks of ribs and chicken quarters could Skippy drop on the floor of Hogzilla?
First of all, I didn't do that. Jason. We just need to have a meet and greet with everybody one of these days. Just do a meet and greet.
We should. Nobody
will travel to us.
Yeah. Hey, we tried FTO or Food Truck Owners Expo, but Skippy wouldn't even go to that. So I really had wanted to get to the July one this year, but yeah, just with everything going on, that was not going to be an option this year. So I'm hoping that is a regular location for them for the summer. That'd be nice.
Texas?
Vegas.
Oh, Vegas.
Yeah, it's a cheap destination to fly to. It's if you're not looking to be fancy, it's a cheap place to stay. So I think they're having it at the Rio, so which is, I mean, you're gonna get a room for $80 a night there if you stay there. So yeah, and you can play Kiss mini golf while you're there. So
I love Kiss mini golf.
Heck yeah. So yeah. Yeah, last week was a week. Lots of doubts. I haven't felt that much anxiety.
Lots of doubts. What are you doubting?
3-4 years, everything.
Why?
Sales. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Somebody else is looking at our spot in the strip mall. I got that phone call on Thursday. So just so you know, we showed it to another group of people and not sure how interested they are, but they seem pretty interested. Okay. We get first right of refusal, so we can try to push harder to get everything in line. But at this point, I was getting ready to tell him that it's probably not going to be June before we can pull a trigger. It's probably going to be more like August, September, just with everything going on.
Yeah, but you said that spot's been around or been vacant for a little while.
A year, just over a year. So yeah, we'll see. If it happens, it happens. If not, and there's always spaces available. So, just questioning just getting in my own head, like we like to do as business owners. You know,
Can we get a T-shirt made that says "Be a business owner, 0 out of 5 stars. Don't recommend."
Should. Jason says New Jersey in December, make it happen. Yeah, December's terrible.
Well, definitely not in New Jersey
Yeah,
either.
New Jersey. Both of those things are awful.
Like, I don't know why anybody would go to New Jersey.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's going on. But I'm not going to hold my breath, especially if we are delaying our brick and mortar to where we're doing renovations in our off season. So, yeah, a lot of things up in the air right now, which makes me uncomfortable. Normal day of business for me, it feels like I can make 3 to 4 mistakes before I critically endanger the business. Last week it felt like I was one wrong decision away from the whole thing closing down all week.
Really?
It's kind of where I was at mentally last week. So your call to me, I'm sorry if I was short. I did not mean to be an asshole. But yeah, what I needed was 20 hours in a car. Quiet. You know, I just needed to get out of my head and just zone out. And I haven't been not around people for 3 weeks. Just with Angie going through her recovery and stuff, and it's just not having to fill voids of quiet. You know, was what I needed. So I'm sorry if I was short. I didn't mean to be that way, but yeah, you just caught me at a peak moment, and things are better today. Assuming we have the sales day that we're supposed to get today, everything will be fine.
I'm up 81% year over year.
Well, congratulations. Thank you. I am not.
Anyway,
well, yeah, it helps when you're running 2 locations instead of 1.
Yeah.
And that other one is open through the winter. But yeah, good job, bud. Congratulations.
But I'm down 17% month over month.
Oof, that's not good.
Last month of this month. But I had more food trucks last month.
It's whether or not we're gonna hit last year April numbers is still in question, which is not where I thought we'd be at this point in time. So we'll see. I'm
roughly 3,200 away from last year's April numbers.
Okay.
And I have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days.
Okay. I think we are 7 days left that we're open. Let's see. What's today? Oh, I'm in the wrong month.
Today's 22nd of April.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 8 days left. So I think when I did the math, it was we have to do a $1,500 average over those days to hit last April, which is very doable.
That should be easy.
Assuming we don't have any of those dinners, just like, but yeah, we've lost every bit of ground that we gained in March pretty much. So yeah, we're down, month to month, month over month, we're down $500 right now, which is nothing. Considering we were closed an extra day this month because Easter last year was in March.
Yeah.
So we're a day less this month. But yeah, we're down 9% on the year to year. Yeah, we were really hoping to be positive going into May, which we could still be. Yeah. We will be.
So we are I was contemplating a lot of stuff over the week too. So I'm part of the Great Lakes Barbecue Association board. So we had our annual spring fling competition this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I had highs and lows big time. I was fortunate enough to win a belt and a big ass cock trophy.
Congratulations on your beak to beak, by the way.
Thank you.
Was not able to capture my opportunity when I had it. I think I finished third.
Yeah. I didn't even take a picture of the turn-in box, which pissed me off because it actually looked really good. But the problem is I forgot I was cooking it. So Thursday night I had to run to Meijer to get some chicken legs and some wings. You're not going to understand this probably because I'm using my phone, but the flats that I used were probably 2 inches long. They cooked in like a half an hour. It's so bad. So then our Saturday competition hit and I got absolutely hammered. Not drunk, hammered, like judge hammered. Although it was the highest scoring Michigan contest ever.
Yeah,
like ever.
Wasn't it like the top 3 were all 700s?
Top 5.
Jesus Christ, man.
Top 15 were in the top 15 were in the 690s. So yeah. So my 20th place brisket was like a 173. I think chicken went all the way down out of 56 teams. Chicken went all the way down to like I think mid 30s, and they were still 170s.
Where the heck were you competing? Florida?
Good old Charlotte, Michigan. Anyway, so yeah, so we got our winning beak to beak. I won $500, which because of our prize pool, I think that was the 3rd or 4th most money moving out that day anyway. So I'm okay with that.
Wow.
But of course, that was the first time I've been out of here for 2 straight days. I did not work Friday and I did not work Saturday. And it hurt. Like it hurt me, like not being here.
Mm-hmm.
More of like, just like you were talking about, like a mindset kind of thing. I was still getting phone calls and just small stuff, nothing huge, nothing bad. I had to have my night guy or my morning guy come in at night to throw a brisket and a pork butt on the pit on Friday night because I told them not to go through a certain amount and they went through a certain amount. So we decided to sell it and just make more as long as I could get him to come in. Because otherwise, Friday night I was driving from Charlotte to the shop just to put a brisket on the pit. That wouldn't have been good. We ended up doing. We have been very consistent in our totals, like week over week. We average about 40 orders a day and about 4,600 to 4,700 a week.
Excellent.
And once you get about 1,300 in food cost and labor's running about $800 to $900 a week, doesn't leave a lot after that.
Yeah.
So I had a chance to talk with Brad Leininger of Getting Basted. He's part owner in like 3 barbecue restaurants, a gastropub, a sandwich shop, and he said that they just spent a whole lot of money and bought 3 more buildings to open up 3 more spots.
Yeah.
So I was kind of just picking his brain just to see about, hey, the one thing that I'm seeing that I didn't see in the food truck was my balances going up. Like I'm just seeing them stay the same. He's like, it's like, be lucky you're not losing money. I'm like I get that. Like they're not going down, but they're not going up. And it's like that part, the making money is just staying put.
Right.
And he's like, I don't know anything about your community. I don't know anything about that. He's like, just stay the course. He's like, you're too new to worry about it.
Yeah.
It's just stay the course.
You're not losing money. That's the important part.
Yeah.
So
I get scared every now and then when I got to cut checks, but other than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
when my payroll went up significantly this year over last year. So yeah, those first couple $3,800 withdrawals for the week. I was like, wait a minute, how is this so much? Do we have this money?
Fuck, I'm paying Chris what again?
So yeah, it's yeah. Justin says,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
so yeah, I'm a little bit behind. Justin said Nashville in December isn't too bad, and the economy and the R word wakes me up at least once a night.
Oh, yeah, that the R word. I don't know. My mom still thinks that Elon's going to take her Social Security, so calls me every day about it. I'm not. Here's the thing: is I'm not really fearing the economy because, I mean, a lot of people like Josh. You started during like probably one of our worst economies ever, and I was in the mortgage business during one of our worst economies ever. You just keep trucking along.
Yeah.
If you got to get lean, get lean. But you just got to truck along.
So, yeah, it's people got to eat. You know, if people were super conscious about where their money was going, Starbucks would have gone out of business a long time ago.
Fuck you.
So,
or I wouldn't be in a coffee shop right now because it would have gone out, $8 for a coffee, whatever.
Yeah, but people are going to complain about the price of eggs when they're paying $7 a day for a coffee.
Hey, eggs have come down. So I was at
$4 a dozen.
Well, no, I was at Restaurant Depot yesterday, and I remember when I was seeing like their big cases of eggs were like $144 a case. And I walked by yesterday and it was like $40. I'm like, What a lot of people didn't understand is, and especially in Michigan, is that new law did hurt
bump prices. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everything's going to be cage free. And anyway, yeah. So I don't like eggs anyway. So now I have a belt. Now I have a big ass cock trophy for the next year.
So where did you end up? I'm sorry. I know you said you were like 30th in brisket or whatever, but
I finished 34th out of 56 with a 677. Okay, a fucking 677. Which for all you people who don't know anything about competition barbecue, probably 5 years ago in Michigan, a 677 would have been top 5,
if not winning.
Yeah, I think my first GC was like a 680, and that was out.
I was probably right around there too.
Oh, crazy.
But yeah, even my win in Florida, which you would think would be a 7 something. No, 690. It's like, damn it. Crazy. All I hear is about how the scoring's so high in Florida, and then I still win it with a freaking 690. Whatever. Just happy to have won it. My 2 little GCs. My 2 little GCs.
I do have one.
You have one?
I do have one more.
Oh, yeah. Good for you.
Yeah, it happens.
I'm happy not to be doing it anymore.
You need to come out one more time.
No.
Come on.
It was too depressing the last time I went. If I would have had the week I had last week and then went and gone and done that and then finished 34th.
I might be hosting this for somebody else.
Everything might have been for sale today.
Oh, you sound like somebody else we know.
So yeah, it's yeah. Maybe someday, but at that point it's like I'm starting over because I got to figure out how to do that side of barbecue again. Flavors and stuff. Which is fun.
Sit around dock, smoking guns hot and blues hog, and you're fine.
Yeah. But to spend, the couple $1,000s for a weekend.
Yeah, I know.
It's hard.
Luckily, our comp it's $185 to get in.
Yeah, that one.
And yeah, that one.
Which is why you had teams traveling for it this year.
Yeah, on Easter weekend, 56 teams on Easter weekend.
Yeah.
So we had Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Alabama, and Missouri.
So did you guys intentionally try to keep it under 60 so you wouldn't have to have a second set of reps?
We had to. It's under 50 to have a second.
50.
Rep.
Okay.
A third rep, I should say.
Yeah.
No, we originally capped it at 50, but we realized that the waiting list had like of the 8 that were on there, 5 were brand new teams. And
Oh,
that's the whole reason why we started this
yeah.
this to have brand new teams. So
Okay.
other than that, very, very, very fun weekend. Walked out with some cash, walked out with a belt.
Good.
I love the belts. Yeah. Can we talk about menu?
Sure.
So you've had your menu for mainly the same menu for quite a while, right? Since you started, basically.
Yeah, I'd say this iteration has pretty much been 4 years.
How often do you go through your item sales to figure out what sells and what doesn't?
All the time.
So,
I'm looking at item sales every day for the day to see
like
what's sold and what's
specific
not sold.
items.
Yep. Yep.
And I guess when do you make the decision to nix an item
It depends
from
on
your?
how much you're putting into it, how much it costs you to carry the item. I mean, we talked about this, I think, before. Like for me, it's the Presley. So the only thing we buy for the sandwich that we don't already have on board is peanut butter. Sure, we only sell a couple a day, but what's the cost for me to carry it? To have another brisket option on the menu.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest reason we have it is because we only have one brisket sandwich and one brisket wrap if you take that sandwich off versus all the options we have for pork, you know. So just trying to create some variety on the brisket side, which is why we have it. And it doesn't cost us hardly anything to carry, to have
Makes
it
sense.
available. So for me, that's like those factors. Now we're running sausage every day for the first time this year. So now that's one of those things that, you know, I'm keeping an extra close eye on. If it's one of those things where, okay, we're only selling 2 orders of sausage on average a day, that's when I'll pull off at the end of the year. If that is the case, because it costs us more to carry it.
Yeah.
It's creating a waste item potentially at the end of the day. So yeah, but that's not been the case. It's been a very popular item. Yeah,
Far more popular than you thought.
yeah, just based on when we ran it as a special, it was hit and miss more. We definitely have some locations where it doesn't sell. But today, yeah, they'll probably go through 20 to 30 sausages today.
Really?
Yeah. And most of those will be at lunch. They'll go through 20 at lunch.
Which is not the norm for you for the last couple of years, is it?
No. So we would do 2 packages of sausage, which was, I don't know, 15, 16 or something like that. I think there's 8 in a package or whatever. And we'd throw away half of them probably. Even at that location that we're selling them.
Yeah.
So,
but now because you put them into something, you utilize it other than just
yeah.
sausage.
So back to nobody looks at the special board.
Yeah, well, true.
Jason says he won a People's Choice mac and cheese contest locally against 5 other chefs, but still pretty cool. He says, I sure as hell ain't no chef. Yes, you are.
Are you a chef?
Of course.
Really?
So are you.
I don't know if I'm a person who knows how to cook food.
You do it professionally.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I try. Definitely try.
So
I have since you've got the new guy starting in the morning, your 3 a.m. guy. Has anybody given you feedback on how the food's coming out? So that's something that I've been getting lately is people are saying that the food that my morning guy cooks, the ribs and chicken and the sides, have all been great.
That's been an improvement over.
Not an improvement. He's just doing a good job.
Oh, well, it seems odd that you would get, unless you're asking for feedback.
I always ask for feedback.
Like you're going out to your diners and asking how things are.
Yep.
Okay. Good.
You don't believe in that?
people on the spot typically
Isn't,
are nicer. You
isn't that
know?
what a waitress does? Go out,
Yeah.
go out. You take your first bite of food, and so you can't answer. She comes up to you and says, "Hey, how's everything?"
Yeah. But I guess it depends on how you're asking. If it's regular customers that you know are there all the time, you know, you got to preface it with, "Hey, got a new guy doing some stuff. Just want to know how everything is." You know?
No, I'm not mentioning that it's somebody else cooking it. I'm just saying, it's everything. I have asked if everything tastes the same, and they're like, "Yeah, great."
Yep.
I haven't got
I
any,
think
I haven't got any negative feedback. How about that?
yeah, I would say if you put that kind of qualifier in there that you got some new people, or you know, even on like a Facebook post, you kind of do like a employee spotlight. You know, kind
Yeah,
of allow it to be okay for people to feel more comfortable with. You know, it's good, but you know, I've noticed that the seasoning's just a little bit off lately, or you know, something like that, to where it gives them an opportunity to be more constructive versus just negative. If
yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah. I get it.
Uh, Justin, we just have an A-frame chalkboard, but it sits on the ground, so below our menu. I'm not going to say that that's the reason, but we have definitely had people that
Nobody,
they make a
nobody wants.
decision before their eyes go down.
Yeah,
So we've talked about
nobody
hanging
looks
one
at the
next to the
special
menu.
board.
Yeah, we've talked about hanging one next to our menu somehow, but our people try to do a pretty good job of mentioning it when they're talking to people. So
Yeah.
Justin also said, "Do you think a different sandwich there could perform better?" Yeah, maybe, probably, maybe. I don't know. There's always something that could do better, but at what cost? So, and that's why I mean specials are good because you're kind of doing a test. You know, you have a special that takes off. I mean, so like the Augusta, we ran it most of the week last week. We had a couple days where it was one or two. We had a couple days where there was 5, 6 sold.
Look good.
Um, the feedback was good from the people that gave feedback. So, I mean, maybe that's something. It doesn't something that doesn't cost us a ton to carry. A container of pimento cheese is shelf life is pretty good on that.
Yeah.
To be open, and it's not overly expensive. Um, so yeah, I mean, maybe that's something you move into its spot or make permanent on the menu. But our menu is so huge. That's the other thing. Our menu is so big right now.
So
There's
have
so many
you,
items on it.
assuming this brick and mortar thing goes through, have you already thought out a menu?
It's not going to be horribly different from what we serve on the truck.
Are you prepared for? So one thing that I wasn't prepared for was the fact that traditional barbecue sells more than sandwiches do
Mhm.
here,
Yep, and
and
we
that
would we
barbecue
would
by the
offer the
pound.
same. Yeah, we would definitely do platters type of thing. So 2 meat
Yeah,
type platters and sides, what you would traditionally see in that kind of setting. Um, but yeah, I mean, we normally sell a lot of meat by the pound. Um, there's going to be some learning curve and some growing pains, I'm sure, but to figure out what those new averages are for
yeah,
that. But yeah, we'll be prepared to sell meat by the pound, especially if we don't get that thing going until December, January.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. That's something that's been hard for me to really understand is the cost difference when I'm making, not making stuff like that. And that's a
mhm.
it's
Yeah,
like
because
if
you
I
never
sell,
did meat by the
yeah,
pound
where
on the truck. Yeah, so
no,
yeah, I would much rather sell 8 sandwiches than 2 pounds of brisket.
absolutely, so much.
But at the same time, it's like I think we're at the upper level of what we can charge for a pound of brisket. Like, can't go higher. Mm,
What do you charge again? 28?
Let me look. I don't remember. I mean, most days we're not selling a ton of it, um, but it's enough. 27.
Yeah.
16 for pork. Justin says he puts theirs on the service shelf at eye level. Caleb,
It still
aren't you
doesn't
supposed to
work properly.
be? Aren't you supposed to be working?
Yeah.
Caleb just chimed down on the YouTube. Since I have you, Caleb, make sure you're weighing the pork and brisket so you can update all the inventory levels. If you need help with that, call me in a minute. So I want to get to that real quick after Justin's. He says he puts his on the. I don't. It can't be a very big sign then. But maybe we can figure that out. Says the special has been Nashville hot, and we're going to have to add it to the menu. It's done too good, and all we had to add was the seasoning. Caleb, so just weigh the pans. A half pan weighs a pound, so you're gonna want to take that pound off the total, and then take another probably half a pound off each pan. So whatever the weight is, take a pound and a half off, and then put that number into inventory.
Really?
Yeah, for a buffer.
The
half pounds for a buffer for online ordering. So we got that fully in. I think Thursday last week was our first time that we actually did. So we inputted all our pork inventory, all our brisket inventory, and kind of let it go and see what happens. And it worked perfect.
Cool.
Yep. So yeah, we ended up. I mean, when we got to dinner, there was definitely what we actually had versus what was available on the system. So available on the system was much lower, which is what we wanted. So that way the online will show sold out before we're actually sold out.
Yeah.
Just to help with maintaining everything when you're taking orders at both spots, you're not selling something that's not available. But yeah, for the sandwiches, the way I have it set up, like you could see an available count of each sandwich. Of course, it's the same for each pork sandwich because that's the number of pork servings available.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you get into these weird sections because like our Dorachos is not a quarter pound. It's more like a third pound. So then you get into these weird decimal places. Like it still has last week's numbers, but like 6.34 pounds of pork available. And then for sandwiches, you get these really long decimals. But
yeah,
it rounds down, which is good. So if you can't fulfill the full thing, what they'll see on online is that. So, and then when you go to online, you'll see the notifications low on stock. So when people are placing orders, it gives them it right underneath the item. It says low on stock. So hopefully, if nothing else, when people are ordering online, like in the evenings for their bar, like our bar spots, maybe they won't delay, on placing an order. Oh shit, we better eat now. God. It's my Zoom system. Justin says it's an 8.5 by 11. I make it on the computer, print, laminate, and put it in the stand. Yeah, okay.
Couldn't you use your center window for for a special board?
Yes. Yeah, we'd have to get rid of like the open sign because that's where we have our Smurl set up, is right in that center. So above that is pretty much our open sign, and then our licenses. So we get rid of the open sign, and it's not like people can see whether we're open or closed from a distance because the print on the sign it's not like it's lit up in a big neon sign or anything. So could probably definitely do something like that. But yeah, for those of us that are doing online ordering, in the concern with the whole stock on hand with barbecue and stuff, it's not too bad. Chris is kind of getting the hang of it. So once that becomes available to everybody, I would recommend it. So we got to get the rest of our stuff in, like mac and cheese portions and stuff like that, and then like the rest of our sides. The beans would be the big one, because it's a recipe item and another item. But yeah, it's getting there.
How long did it take you to reset up everything?
it was a process. I mean, figure a day to go through everything and set up your recipes. And I mean, even if you're just doing the portions of pork and brisket, I mean, it's still, in and out of every item. Creating new items. So we have a pork inventory item and a brisket inventory item and a mac and cheese inventory item.
Yeah.
And then figuring out, like, we had to create new items for half pound and full pound because you can't have a recipe attached to a variation. So before we just had a brisket button and then it would pop up with 2 variations. You can't assign a recipe to a variation. So they have to be separate items now. So just figuring through all that stuff. They are working on attaching recipes to variations. Apparently it's a lot more calculations and work. So
Can't you just have a brisket category and then put all your brisket options in there? Is
yeah,
that
so
what
we
it
have a
is?
brisket button and then it pops up with 2 separate buttons versus the variation, but there's still
Okay.
new items versus one item with 2 variations. So yeah, there's still creation of new items. So same with sides. So if we're going to assign recipes to mac and cheese, sides of mac and cheese, which we're going to do because yeah. So yeah, then you got to assign 2 different items for a small and a large mac and cheese. Not a huge deal. But yeah, if you were to go through your whole menu, I'd say, set aside a day and get through it and do it. So, and again, would be super awesome to be able to do a test environment of your menu to bring stuff through, because we didn't know how any of this was going to work, what it would look like, how it would interact with all the other items. Does it round up or down? Because Chris couldn't put in decimal points into the inventory. It would only take whole numbers. So he couldn't do 8.5 pounds. It was just 8. So, but it shows decimals on there. So why can't I put in a decimal if it clearly works in decimals? So just figuring that stuff out on the fly while you're open. It would be nice to throw things into a test environment and you could just ring through stuff on a register, but maybe someday. Caleb says nobody pays attention to the open sign. 100%. You're right. That's because the international sign for a food truck of being open is the window being open, and ours is open as soon as we pull in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's our own fault. But yeah. Anyways, that's what I got. That's all I got today. Everything felt pretty rushed, and yeah, there's a reason we don't do this on Tuesdays. There's too much other stuff going on in the morning.
Yeah, I gotta go light staff,
and I will be lighting mine as well today.
You knew it, yay!
Yeah, we're gonna put something on it and dirty it up.
Should
probably
one sausage link,
one hot dog. Well, I mean,
that's gonna be a damn hot dog.
What you're supposed to do when you get a new smoker, and that's do the biscuit test. So
should do the biscuit test.
I'm concerned though because they're all round bar racks. If you put soft biscuit dough, are we worried about them? They'll be fine. Okay,
they'll be fine.
That was my only thought. I was like, I wonder if those will sink through the round bars. Because all my other smokers have all been the diamond, so everything sits pretty nice right on top.
I did the biscuit test on my Rectech. I had a round bar. You're fine.
All right.
I mean, don't smush it. Just
no.
Peel
just
it.
Yeah.
Push it. Peel it and put it.
Peel it and put it.
Yeah, there's I did find a local barbecue. Well, not really local to me, but a barbecue truck in the Thumb area that steals people's pictures and posts it as their own.
They steal some of yours?
They did. They stole. I don't know if Bubba's listening, but they stole one of his too. Bubba's got like a Mexican street corn bowl or whatever, a cup or something. Yeah, they definitely ripped that one off. Yeah, but hey, let them do it. I'm still getting a lot of catering stuff. I'm trying to figure out whether I have the capacity to do it.
I can't believe how many, not even quotes, but just, hey, we stopped by your food. Are you available this day? We want you. like it's probably been 5-6 a week.
Yeah, I'm
Which
afraid that. I mean, and it's not a bad thing, but I'm afraid that I'm gonna have to shut down the shop a couple days couple weekends just to deal with open houses and stuff like that because
is that
nobody
just from
wants
a
to come
capacity, like a smoker capacity issue or a staff capacity?
staff capacity.
Yeah.
I mean, I just found out. So, like, I have a wedding that I'm doing on May 10th, and the two girls that were doing it also work here at the cafe, and it's for the cafe owner's daughter.
Okay.
And so I said, hey, well, why don't you guys go do the buffet setup for me? They're like, okay. Now I find out yesterday that they're not talking to each other. So it's like, damn.
Huh. Yeah, I think I've talked Alex into working for a couple months when I need her. Because she's only got a couple more weeks of school left. And then she doesn't, I think move-in day for MSU is like mid-August.
So she is going to MSU?
Yep.
Good for
She's
her.
officially a Spartan.
Good for her.
Yep.
Go green.
Can't wait to get cheap tickets to the Michigan State football game this year.
You think they get cheap tickets? Oh.
Yeah.
It's at Michigan State too, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
per our tour,
no.
depending on how good the football team is, season tickets for students, $200 to $400.
Yeah.
For all the games.
But then
and
you
she says,
oh,
okay. She says there's never a wait list for it. Michigan has a lottery for theirs because there's so much request. So yeah, she said that, and then basketball tickets are like $300 and then like $10 a game that you go to. She's like, for the students though, so like the IZone,
yeah.
she's like it's a tiered system, so you have to earn points to get down low. So you'll never see freshmen in that lower section.
Yeah.
She said the more games you go to, the more points you accrue. So if you want to get down there at some point, you got to start going to games your freshman year. But yeah, I told Alex, just let me know. Said I will pay for your tickets. 100%. You know,
that'd be fun
because she's interested, and I just told Ethan the same thing. But he had never had a huge interest in going, to football games and stuff, and until recently.
The big house is big.
It's a special thing. It's a cool place to watch a football game.
Oh yeah. Even in the nosebleed seats, you really still don't nosebleed.
No.
They're still good.
Yeah. What were we talking about before that? Oh yeah. So she might, because we definitely have some days that are a little scary.
Is Ethan going to come back for the summer?
No, because he has an apartment, so he doesn't move back and forth.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I told her, I said it. She's like, I gave the swim school my availability for the summer. I said, well, if you want to make some actual money, come to the truck. But yeah, I think we have a day that we have 3 weddings. And we're scheduled for service. Like we have 3 weddings, some drop off for like a community party or whatever. Yeah. And then we're still set up roadside for the day. So and we have a couple of those days, which is great. Capacity wise for food, we can do it, especially with I have a collection of 3 large smokers now. Yep. So we can definitely handle the capacity on that part. It's just a matter of having the staff to be able to run places. Having 3 different sets of or 3 groups of people going to 3 weddings.
How many Cambros do you have?
Cambros? Not enough.
Yeah.
I think we have like 7 or 8 right now.
I think
I'm trying to get rid of the plastic ones though. Yeah. Go to the foam. The foam ones are so much better.
Really?
Yeah.
You're talking about the Go boxes?
No, they're the full size Cambro size, but they're the press foam. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's the same as a Go box, except it's a full size Cambro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're way better.
Why?
They're so much lighter. They're so much easier to handle, and the seals they seal better than the other ones. Yeah. Do it.
Well, I was gonna go. I kind of want the go boxes because those can fit like a
Like the
couple
full
full
pan.
pans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen those too.
those are a lot easier to carry since I
Yeah,
only have one.
my only complaint about the Cambro Go boxes is they don't have handles on the top. So they're smooth on the top and on the side. So
Oh,
there's a lip that you can hold on to.
yeah,
But yeah, it'd be great if they had a couple handles built into those to make it easier to maneuver. But
yeah,
yeah, they're so much lighter. So it makes carrying them so much easier. And taking them in and out of like the truck and stuff just makes it easier for everybody.
yeah. Like
But yeah,
May 10th, we have two weddings and then a senior send off food truck thing, and
yeah.
it's
So
like they're all
we
at night
have
too.
3 of our Etna days. I think we have service afterwards, and one of them. So yeah, one of them's so yeah, our first 2. One of them's the biggest one we have, 300 and some people for Etna, and then we're doing the Hudsonville lacrosse team is having their senior night, so we're providing food for the team and their team and coaches. And then they said, if you want, you can stay and serve the public for the game. All right. So yeah, we're catering for 400 people and then going to do a service that has hopefully, potential of a few hundred people. So yeah, there's definitely some days that Chris and I'm sure Caleb are already having anxiety about. But
Yeah,
hey, man, if you want to get to $500,000 in sales, this is how we do it. Taking advantage of every opportunity we can within reason. So
yeah. That's anyway.
Yeah, those days help counteract the dinners we had last week.
They
And I just have to
do.
remind myself it's almost May. Everything's fine once we get to May.
I mean, where's Gert's 2 staying?
It will be on the trailer. Currently,
It
it's in
will
my
be.
garage. Yeah,
Correct.
it's probably going to be July before it gets put on there, though. Just because that's the next time we have a few days where it's not in use.
Mhm.
And I'm not 100% positive if there's going to have to be any structural work done to get that attached. I have to do some measurements on where the wheelbases are on
Yeah.
GERT 2 versus the brackets they put down for GERT 1. Ideally, those will line up exactly where the wheels are because those are all into. I know they won't. I'm already aware. I'm aware. I know because
No.
those are already into the steel beams on the trailer floor. Otherwise, we're gonna have to put in some, obviously something to screw that into outside of plywood. So, yeah, he said definitely. He said,
wee.
yeah. God, that one that's on there already, GERT 1, you can get it to wobble back and forth, and it makes me so nervous. I don't know how it hasn't fallen off the back of the trailer. But yeah, you can push on it and get it to wobble. The floor will.
Can you please knock on wood right now that it doesn't fall off at some point? Jeez. It'd make for a great video, though.
Oh God.
You guys are on TikTok and you hear what's going on?
Stationary would be better than us driving 70 miles an hour down the road. We hit a bump and it just flies off, and now there's a 20 car pile up behind us. There is a such thing as bad press. So yeah, I asked him what the best way to mount that would be. He said, take the wheels off and then just right through where the wheels are, just pop it right in. He said, it'll save you 6 inches too. I said, well, I kind of like how the racks were with the wheels on because I'm looking eye level with the top rack. So having that a little bit lower, it makes it a little easier reach for the top rack, but then the bottom rack's 6 inches lower too. So I'd rather reach to the top than have to bend over further for the bottom. So, but no, maintenance on it, it looks like it's not going to be horrendous. If anything, that is going to be easier to clean than what we have now. Just because we don't have to work around the heat transfer tube in the deep south.
I
So,
sent you those pictures of one that got it was a while back, because for some reason, the reason I asked for that link this morning is Facebook Messenger deleted all my messages because they said they upgraded their RSC encryption.
oh, really?
Yeah. So the last message I had from you was from March of 2024.
Oh,
I'm like, oh well, poop. Yeah, I'm good. I gotta go light the smoker up. We can make this a little bit shorter.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I don't have anything. Oh, I did get a. Sorry, I do got one more thing. I did get
Okay.
a. So there's in our downtown area. There's a restaurant going out of business because they're only open for lunch, and it's like a sandwich shop kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they asked if I'd be interested. I'm like, what's the rent? They're like $3,000 a month. I'm like, because they just went through a full build out
Yeah.
like a year ago. So then I called, because the only way I would do it is if there was liquor available or alcohol sales of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
And
Do
so
they have a license?
He did. He sold it.
Oh.
He sold it to the owner of the building, which has like 2 or 3 in escrow right now. Anyway, so I found out, I actually called the Liquor Control Commission because I was trying to figure out if there was just a straight beer and wine license. And he said there is, but it goes by the county that you're in, and then it's all a quota. The number of overall liquor licenses. So a Hotel A, a Hotel B, Class C, and a tavern license, which is just beer and wine and mixed spirits. He said there's 17 liquor licenses in escrow in your county, so you'd have to buy one outright from one of those people and have it changed, which those go for 50, 60 grand right about now, because they're in high demand, because you can't get them to the state anymore. So the one thing that he told me that I thought was rather interesting is you can buy a license. So let's say I didn't want to serve liquor, but the only license available was a Class C, which is everything. He's like, oh, you can have that turned into a tavern license or a hotel license. I'm like, why the hell would you do that? Well, it wouldn't make sense. Like if there's 17 liquor licenses, because he said there was none of the other ones. I'm like, oh, well, I don't want any of those. So, because the owner of the cafe would be all about having beer and wine here. And then I started talking to a friend of mine. He's like, you realize that where you are, like, if I'm going to go out for barbecue, I don't know if I want a beer or not. You know, I like beer, don't get me wrong, but it's like beer keeps me there. So if there's like 4 or 5 TVs and I can watch the game, you know, I'll order a couple beers. But if I'm just going there to get something to eat, I don't need a cocktail. I don't need a beer or anything like that. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So FYI, in case your new restaurant has a liquor license available to it.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm in no rush to get into that.
No, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. Anyway.
All right, bud. Everybody, you have a good week. Hopefully there is lots of sales for everyone. And we're all feeling a little less anxious this next week. And we'll talk to you all Monday.
Beautiful day.
Monday. Hopefully right at 9:00 next week. We'll see.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. Have a good week. Bye-bye.